So, everyone talking about Caitlin Clark as the real, Caitlin Clark being a snub, and then there are people chipping in with like their whole box score stats being like the real snub is Arike ogunbowale, and I don't agree at all with that one. I really don't agree. As someone who's watched the Dallas Wings, I don't agree at all with that take. I'm going to be completely honest. But anyway, before we get on, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We have more basketball content here than anywhere else, and we are like 300 off 7K, which is insane. If we could somehow hit that by like the next couple of days, that would be unbelievable, lads. So anyway, now let's get on to the video. So Arike ogunbowale is the highest scoring perimeter player in the WNBA. And if you look at her highlights, like, there's only one player, I will say, by the way, in the WNBA, that her highlights are as fun to watch as Caitlin Clark's. Well, to an extent. I think Kennedy Carter just going head down, just running through everybody is kind of cool to watch. But there's one player that I will say has as much, like, flair as Caitlin Clark. And that is Arike ogunbowale. Like, I will say, for just interest in the actual games, the Olympics, I'm putting this out there right now. I would be... Look, for viewers aren't going to come to see her, but at the end of the day, like, she is box office. If you just wanted to look at the highlights of her playing, you're going to be very impressed, because she's got like a Kyrie-esque handle. I think I call her the Kyrie of the WNBA. The difference is that Kyrie is known for his efficiency as a guard. Arike ogunbowale is, I'm not joking, maybe the least efficient scorer I have ever seen in basketball. And I've watched the Wings play quite a lot this year. The Wings suck. The Wings legitimately suck. Like, I would say they are one of the worst teams in the WNBA. I think the Wings are nearly as bad as the Fever, and I genuinely think they're nearly as bad as, like, not nearly as bad. Fair, full team with Mystics, maybe. But, like, this year, in her defense, she's averaging a lot of points. Averaging 26.6 points, which is crazy. She has an effective field goal percentage of 42. 42. She has never had an effective field goal percentage in her career of 50. Of 50. I want to look at what Caitlin Clark's is, by the way. Her effective field goal percentage. And she's not being doubled and tripled like Caitlin Clark is at the same time. She shoots the ball 30 times a game. I'm sorry, she shoots the ball 30 times a game. Madness. Absolute madness. She shoots 6 of 15 two-pointers a game. She shoots 30% from 3 and 9 a game. Like, she is chucking more. She shoots more threes than Caitlin Clark and makes less. And Caitlin Clark is shooting contested off the 3 running fadeaways. Arike ogunbowale, her effective field goal percentage is 42. At least Caitlin Clark's, her current effective field goal percentage, and people are saying Caitlin Clark shooting terrible. Her current effective field goal percentage is better than Arike has had in her career. Not only that, I will say Arike ogunbowale is a better defender than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is the best transition point guard in the WNBA. That is the one thing right now that I don't think, if you want to say anything about her game, she is the best head up, look, hit runners. The pace of play, the tempo of play, when her team gets stops, Caitlin Clark with that running gun game, if you surround Caitlin Clark with defenders and runners, they will be at a higher level than she had at Iowa. They'd be the best team, or at least a contender, because it's so hard to live with. So, when it comes to Arike ogunbowale, what does Arike ogunbowale do at the Olympic level? And I'm talking about for Team USA. Because let's just say, hypothetically, they're coming in as a role of a third string point guard. What does Arike do? She comes in, chucks. That's it. She will come in and chuck. She shoots every single time she touches the ball. That's it. Like, she's a really good she's a better free throw shooter. She's a 96% free throw shooter this season. And was shooting nearly 90 last year. Cool, you fouled her, put her on the line. She's the same level free throw shooter. But when you're playing with superstars, what is your job as a point guard? To get them involved, to get the ball, pass it around. That is the one thing Caitlin Clark does better than any guard in this league, is freeing up her teammates. She is the better she's better in transition. And this is a team that when they're on the floor are going to be running up and down. They're going to be able to run up and down and score. Can you imagine Caitlin Clark playing with or playing with an Alyssa Thomas, playing with freaking Aja Wilson, playing with these players? Like, Caitlin Clark will make, obviously she doesn't need to make the players look better, but she'll make the team click, or not, the team will tick more. Because you've seen Caitlin Clark playing with Team USA before. She's been really good on Team USA before. Like, she can play with really good players. She just hasn't necessarily done that. She's played with elite role players in Iowa. Like, Kate Martin's an elite role player. Stokey's an elite role player. Sinano, Gabby Marshall, Affolter, these are elite role players. She's played with a lot of them. A lot of good ones. And she's been the system. But I'm very confident she can learn from these players, and she could help this team win a medal. I don't know what Arike brings. Like, Arike is the best perimeter scorer in the league because she shoots the most shots. Like, Arike is currently shooting, so Caitlin Clark this season is shooting 13 times a game. Arike is shooting like 25 times a game? She's shooting twice as much and averaging 10 more points. Okay, cool. If you base it on, if Caitlin Clark was allowed to shoot the ball as many times as Arike is, I'm very confident. Like, she had 13 points, almost 15 shots? On like 15 shots or something a couple of days ago. Like, Arike is not the best perimeter scorer in the league just because she has the most points. First of all, Kalia Copper is by far the best perimeter scorer I've seen this year. She's a better perimeter scorer. I would take Sabrina as a better perimeter scorer. I would consider taking Kelsey Plum as a better perimeter scorer than Arike. And yeah, she's a better defender than Caitlin Clark, but I don't understand what she brings. I don't understand why you've got a whole team of like stars, what adding a shot chucker does to that team. The only reason, and then so many people, just seeing people that have never watched the Dallas Wings play, being like, she averages this amount of points. Oh, look at this hezzy tween crossover. She's the real snub. She's not the real snub. She's not the real snub. At the end of the day, some of the real snubs, the real players that could have really helped this team have been naturalized by other countries. Like, I was thinking, like, why is Duana Bonner not in this team? Oh, I forgot. She's naturalized Macedonia. Not that I forgot. I had no idea. I know Jonquel Jones from the Bahamas, but she's naturalized. I have no idea what country she's naturalized, but it's somewhere in Europe. A lot of these players are naturalized. Neko Wumake. I know she tried to play for Nigeria in the last Olympics. Neko Wumake is somebody that you could just put on this team. Play Alyssa Thomas at the 1. You can do that. Play Thomas at the point. Like, if you're really like looking for the real snubs, like, Neko Wumake is a real snub. She is a real snub from this team. What was her name? There are players that I would bring in. I genuinely, this is not like just a personal thing. I wouldn't bring Brittany Griner. I wouldn't bring Brittany Griner because, like, we've seen it as an Irishman. I've seen players that don't want to play for the country, don't want to play for your country, and don't really want to support, like, aren't Irish, come in and to play for our football team. And if you don't want to represent Ireland, you don't want to play for your country, you don't want to give everything for your country, you probably shouldn't play. And I know, like, some of the stuff with Brittany Griner, I also don't think in 2024 she's that good. I really don't think Brittany Griner is that good. There are other bigs you can bring in. I'd bring Angel Reese over Brittany Griner. I'm being 100% honest. And even if you don't want to bring Caitlin Clark, I think you bring Angel. I think Angel Reese is a floor raiser on any team she's on. I would bring Angel Reese over Brittany Griner for this team. I'm being 100% honest with that. But can we please stop pretending that we've watched... Can people please stop pretending that they've watched Arike ogunbowale? She wasn't even in the pool to be selected. Like, if you want to talk about her being the biggest snub, you should talk about her being the biggest snub for the pool of people to be selected, which Caitlin Clark was in and she wasn't. At the end of the day, though, they're going to win. Really doesn't matter. They're going to win anyway. Doesn't matter who they bring. They're going to win every game. By 30, this isn't the men. The international players have not nearly caught up in the win. They're going to win every game by 30.